If you have reverse spine angle, or if you have early extension, these things will cripple your swing, and they're all fitness related. Hey guys, what's happening? My name is Justin. I'm a golf performance coach. As always, first thing I need you guys to do, like this video, subscribe to the channel. If you are somebody who is looking to improve their golf game in 2025, I have a golf fitness roadmap available on reborngolf.com to try to help you out and get fitness a part of your game in 2025. We want to improve the body. That will improve your foundation and make you better from the ground up. Today, what I want to do with you is go over something that a lot of golfers struggle with, and that is hitting long irons. Why are long irons typically a problem area for most golfers, where they start to switch to hybrids or they go to the woods, things that'll give them less spin that ultimately will put strokes back onto their game. Now, when I say long irons, we're talking about, 3-iron, 2-iron through 6, maybe 7. Obviously, a couple main differences with long irons. They are longer in length and they are less in loft. So they make for a more precise shot. It's needed to hit the ball a little more accurately with more power to get the club to do what it is intended to do. The reasons why you may be struggling with a longer iron is because it requires a better, more precise swing. The ball placement needs to be correct. The compression needs to be better. The loft needs to be accurate. You can't be de-lofting. One of the things we definitely want to make sure of right out of the gate is that we have correct ball placement for a longer iron. Again, it is a longer club, so I need the ball to be a little bit more forward from the middle placement there. So if I draw a line right through the center of my feet, basically I just want to take a couple steps back. 2 small steps. That way, when I go to address, my hands are still in front of the ball, but now I have the correct loft on the club. I'm not in the middle, leaning it forward, anything crazy like that. The more we de-loft the club, the more it's going to take to hit an accurate shot. You're probably going to need to go into the ground a little bit more, which could lead to thin or potentially thick shots. So again, I want to be in the middle of my stance here. I'm just going to take a small step back. I'm going to address the middle of my stance first, so that I know that my feet and weight are evenly distributed. And then I'm going to bring my hands to the ball. Much like in my driver video that I had, I want to bring my hands to the ball and then adjust everything. So say that someone told me one time that I need the ball to be a little bit up in my stance. Fine. There's no problem with that. It is the correct information. But what a lot of people will do is they'll lean their body weight, or they'll lean the shaft forward. Something excessive that is basically putting everything, your center of gravity, the loft is incorrect, but you'll be putting everything in front of the ball. If I keep my weight in the middle, I want to be evenly transferred or evenly distributed. My hands are still in front, my shoulders are square, my feet are square, and I have the correct loft on the club. So I can make a normal swing. Then it becomes about weight transfer. It becomes about finishing the follow through, things that are kind of fitness related. So it's not anything inherently wrong with your swing, but if you're doomed from the start, how can you imagine that the shot is going to produce a satisfactory result? So my weight's in the middle, my hands are right above the ball, if not a pinch in front of it. My shaft lean is forward, but my loft is intact. Okay, let's talk a little bit about weight transfer. So the reason why weight transfer is so important for longer irons, and if you don't have the ability to do so, it's something I'm going to touch on in a second, because it comes down to a fitness factor. January is going to be Golf Fitness Month. I'm going to put something out every day for golf fitness, because that is something that is across the entire nation important to do in the month of January, most likely February, unless you live in Arizona or California or somewhere that's hot. The reason why weight transfer is very important in longer irons is because I need a more firm base to swing a longer club, right? I'm not going to swing a 5-iron like a sand wedge. I need to establish a firmer base. My stance is wider than normal, and that's fine. But what's difficult in the weight transfer with a wider stance is when I go to the top, it's going to be harder to transfer that weight if my hips aren't mobile enough, especially if I don't know what I'm supposed to be feeling. So I have a video on that. Go check out the more distance video where I talk about how to pretty much transfer your weight correctly, what you're supposed to be feeling in the post-impact part of your swing, as opposed to what everybody seems to be trying to fix in their backswing. Impact and post-impact are just as important. But in this case, if you have a wider stance, like you're supposed to have from, let's say, 6-iron and up, it's going to be increasingly difficult to go into the ground and compress a longer iron the way you're supposed to get, your ideal ball flight spin if you don't have the ability to transfer your weight. So there's no way around it. You can take 50 lessons. It's not going to change what is inherently wrong with your body. And it takes 30 to 60 days to really start feeling a difference in that. So make sure that you go download that Golf Fitness Roadmap. It's going to help you. And definitely comment and DM on the things that you want to learn more about fitness-wise. January is Golf Fitness Month. When I take the club back, I'm in a position to transfer my weight. This is where everybody gets screwed. What I want to do from here is not attack the ball. I want to think about hitting the inside of it. But if I go attack the ball, that's where I'm going to lose a lot of my lag. So I'm going to give you guys a little tip that might help some people feel a little bit differently than trying to get into your left side heel. Like I mentioned in the more distance video, when it comes to ripping that hip to the left and really getting the club through, remember, it all starts with the lower body. 5-iron in hand right now. A really good swing thought, let's say I'm at the top of my backswing, is to think about keeping my left foot, or let's say front foot if you're a lefty, I apologize. But what I want to feel is keeping this foot on the ground and almost trying to pull back, say if I had a towel under my foot and I was trying to kick out some dirt, right? That's a really good feel to try to turn the hip and get your weight through to that side. Now remember, my weight is going to be about 70-30, 60-40 on the back leg at the top of my backswing. To transfer my weight, I then need to think about getting my weight to the left and then sweeping that dirt away with that foot. Okay, that's where your power is going to come from to whip everything through and let the upper body be more of a elastic band type whip, as opposed to getting to the top of my backswing and then everything moving at once, especially if you have reverse spine angle, because from here it's just going to go the opposite way. What happens on one side will inadvertently happen on the other. So let's take a look at this swing here as an example. Remember, weight in the middle of my feet, hands to the ball. Now I'm going to think at the top of my backswing to kick the dirt away. Okay, pretty straight shot, good contact. A little bit of a fade, that's my natural shot shape. But what that did was really just rip my hips to the left. Now, some of you aren't going to have that ability just from inherent body characteristics, body faults, and that's okay. That's not a problem. It's something to work on. But to hit these longer irons the way they're intended to be hit, almost the same way as that 9-iron and 8-iron, more is required of your body to hit longer irons and to hit longer shots. All right, so let me talk about the top 3 things in fitness that'll improve a long iron swing. Number 1 is going to be core strength. Okay, core strength keeps you in posture. Core strength protects the spine. Core strength is number 1. Number 2 is going to be 2A, 2B, hips and shoulders. I need hip mobility. You cannot have tight hips. You cannot have weak glutes. So let's just call it hip mobility and shoulder mobility. Okay, you have to get into, just like any other club, but definitely for long irons, my external rotation here. And then on the other side, I need to get an external rotation on the left side. So both shoulders need to be able to get into external rotation in a way that will allow for the club to get into the positions it needs to strike correctly. And then number 3 is lower body stability. Okay, I can't achieve any of those things that I want to do, weight transfer, hip mobility, striking the ball, without lower body stability. Okay, my lower body needs to be stable so that my upper body can be more mobile and rotate around the spine, especially. That's the goal of every swing. Okay, I need that lower body stability. So definitely make sure for 2025 that you go download that Golf Fitness Roadmap. I'm also going to throw in a mobility program, kind of a sample, to get you prepped before you play, get pre-movement in, get post-movement in. It's going to help in the long run. It's going to help right now as well. Long irons are definitely more difficult, so you're not wrong in saying that it's a struggle part of your game, but it requires fitness. It requires a body that is able to swing a longer club with more strength, with more mobility than a shorter iron. Work on that and make fitness a part of your game in 2025.